Command a ship and lead your crew to victory. That's the idea behind GetUp Games' new pirate-themed Battle Royale. But is there enough here to keep wannabe pirates satisfied, or is it yet another BR that will be lost at sea? Hello there friends, it's Codiak here, one half of the team behind Legacy Gaming, and today we're breaking down Blazing Sails to determine if it's truly worth your time. It's been quite some time since I last played a Battle Royale, but give me a couple pirates, sprinkle in some good friends, and I'm willing to give anything a go. Blazing Sails pits teams of 4 against each other, combining elements of naval, ranged, and melee combat. Yes, the game looks like Sea of Thieves, and yes, it's a pirates game, so let's just get all that rip-off nonsense out of the way right now, because we're here to talk about this game, Blazing Sails. The game is currently in early access, and it's clear before ever getting into a match. Lobbies are designed much like they were in the early 2000s. There is a quick play option that tries to matchmake you. There's also dedicated servers that you can join from a server list. And finally, there are private servers that you can create and host yourself. The problem is things are still incredibly rough around the edges. Quick play often brings you into an in-progress match on a losing ship, and it really takes the wind out of the sails. Pun absolutely intended. The real issue is the game's player base, which is woefully small. It really is a crime because, as we'll talk about shortly, the game does a lot of things right, but sadly, the numbers aren't helping. However, there are some tricks to ensure you get into a game, and once you do, things really start to pick up. You'll start each round picking a location on a map, selecting one of 3 major locations to spawn at as a team. Once the round starts, you'll be on your ship, and the game begins. You're part of a crew of 4, and it's now up to you to figure out how you divvy up the work to make it to the end game. Sails need to be brought down and turned to catch the wind. Cannons need to be loaded in anticipation of naval battles, and someone has to steer. It's a team effort, truly, and one of the first competitive games I've played in a long while where teamwork trumps all else. With any battle royale, there is of course looting, and as you'd expect, there's riches to be had everywhere. But you're not just looking for weapons, you're also looking for supplies. You'll pick up muskets and flintlocks, but also cannonballs and wood, which are essential to keeping your ship up and running. Of course, there are also treasure chests that players can unlock for the best loot in the game, like quad barrel rifles and ship upgrades. The trouble with treasure is that it often attracts other teams, and the game makes it very clear when a chest is unlocked. When treasure's involved, battles are usually not far behind, and this is where Blazing Sails changes course from other games in the genre. Your ship is your life, and the only way to get knocked out of the game is if it's destroyed. You could be the worst fighter in the world, but as long as your ship is still sailing, you've got a shot. Elements of naval, ranged, and melee combat are all key to taking down enemy ships. Using special cannonballs, you can stop a ship in its tracks, or climb aboard, head downstairs, and pull the cork. The key is to fill up the ship with water. Once it's completely full, that's it. The enemy is done for. Blazing Sails truly shines in the endgame, with teams fighting for control over a small section of the map. There's also an attrition zone, but it's a bit more forgiving than in other games. While in the dead zone, your ship will take damage and ultimately take on water, but it is manageable, especially since the winds always favor heading back into the safe zone. On our crew, we combine all the elements. We usually have 1 or 2 boarders, 1 cannoneer, and 1 deckhand in charge of repairs. That's right, folks, repairs. During combat, you'll need to fix up the holes and pump out any excess water, all while trying to fight off pirates that are trying to sink you. It's absolutely chaotic, but the thrill of working together and coming out the other side of a skirmish, the victors, is amazing. Anyone that experienced Sea of Thieves PvP knows exactly what rush I'm talking about, and Blazing Sails manages to crank that up to 11. Blazing Sails does so much right, and behind the scenes, more is in the works. The team has managed to create an absolutely incredible game, but they made one fatal flaw, and it may just hold the game back, possibly forever. Blazing Sails isn't free, and that's a big reason why it's not seeing the success it deserves. Depending on what part of the world you're in, the game will run somewhere between $20 to $25. Breaking the mold of a genre isn't always a good thing, but for a game that has so much potential, its price tag is holding it back. It doesn't have to either. There are plenty of cool cosmetics in the game players can obtain, and there is so much potential to entice more players if the base game was free. Other issues like the omission of in-game voice don't do it any favors either. This was a feature available in alpha, then pulled for early access release. It's a team-centric game, and players that are queuing by themselves don't have enough tools to communicate effectively. It's really a shame that these things are holding the game back and may ultimately be the reason it doesn't succeed, but hopefully the developers are smart enough to read the room and make the necessary changes before it's too late. So there you have it, folks, Blazing Sails in a nutshell. It's a fast-paced, team-centric game that pits pirates against each other on the high seas. But is it worth your time? The answer is maybe. The game has a ton of potential and is genuinely fun to play, but some key decisions are holding it back. If you don't have a group ready to man the sails and batten down the hatches, you're in for a rough time. But stack up, hop into a Discord, and things get leaps and bounds better. As I mentioned before, the game is in early access, so the key here is really paying attention to development. If key changes are made to make the game better, I think it will be worth your time. But until then, I would say wait from the sidelines and see which way the wind blows. My terrible pirate-themed jokes aside, we hope this video helped you figure out if Blazing Sails is worth your time. If you enjoyed this series and want more worth your time videos in your feed, go ahead and hit that thumbs up and consider subscribing to Legacy Gaming. You can also check us out on Discord. Our community of over 6,000 members is spread across dozens of great games, so click that link below and join today. My name is Codiak, and from everyone here at Legacy Gaming, thanks for watching, and play on.